Hello, Apollo 11 Houston. We recommend you accept the now 49. Continue through your sequence of sightings, and then we'll analyze the data afterwards. Over. You're okay.
Hello, and welcome back to the Depths of Jigoku podcast. This week, we are joined by Kane, Hola, Scorch,
Hello.
and me, Bipo. Dread Pirate should be with us soon. It depends on when his ship finally docks, and Kickin' Beans will join us next week. This week, we are still brought by JD Camera Comics. Please go check him out. He's a really dope dude with some really dope comics. How are we doing today, boys?
I don't know why, but for some reason I thought that you said that Pyro would be with us when his shit docks. And I was just like, what? Hang on.
Whichever one.
Sharing a moment.
And then it clicked, I was like, okay, I can hear words today.
Yeah. But, you know, is what it is. Words are hard.
Words are hard, man.
Yeah.
I think I spend all of my time at work using my words, and then the rest of the day I'm just like, my name is Jeff.
Dude, I spent
You
the
know
day
what I
getting
mean? Like-
screamed at, man. I know how you feel.
Oof.
I just use my words all day, every day because of my job, and then come home and forget how to talk.
Classic.
Class.
All right, so we want to kick this off with taking a small shit on NVIDIA again, because I feel like that's all the news I've been getting lately.
The 5070 is a 4070 Ti. Start shitting on it now.
Why did they? What? Why are they? Is it just because it's not actually powerful and it's just all like the artificially generated frames?
Yeah, it's the frame generation.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, they need to stop.
Which
and
most
just
games
go back to what they're
apparently
good at.
don't use yet.
Is this another like ray tracing thing? Like in the next few years, we will see it. So Nvidia's just already on it, though. Right now, it sucks. It'll be better in the future.
It's hit or miss. NVIDIA's come out with stuff that no one's used before. It's just going to be one of those ones where maybe people use it. I fucking hope not. The AI
What, the-
frames, they don't look the best, and I prefer like raw rasterization.
Yeah, I gotta say, my experience with Monster Hunter Wilds has told me that frame generation is not working out, because I turned on frame generation finally just to test it, and for a little while it was going good until I crashed, and then it was going good for a little while until I crashed like 10 minutes later. So I was just like, no mas.
No fucking moss. But we might have a savior. Good old Radeon.
Yep.
97.
I'm hoping that some of the other manufacturers put out like a higher RAM version. Like I like the fact that the 9070s are coming out with a 16 gig. That's pretty. I mean, that is not a laughable amount of VRAM, right? But I hope there, a company out there like MSI or ASRock or whoever puts out like a 20 gig version, because that would actually probably get me to upgrade at some point.
Yeah, I'd buy a 24 gig 9070 XT. If
Do they
it's
have
better.
them?
I've seen very mixed reviews now that the reviews come out tomorrow. And Micro Center has like a dozen 7900 XTXs. So
Oh, you talk about the 7900 XTX, not a 9070 XT with 24 gig.
no, if the 9070 XT is better than the 7900 XTX, I will wait and pick one up. But if it's not, based on the reviews tomorrow, on my way home from Parts Unknown, Colorado, I might pick up a 7900 XTX.
Nice. I did see that they had a couple of Phantoms up there.
I checked this morning and they had a couple Phantoms. I checked this evening and they had like 12 carts, varying companies.
Interesting. Maybe I'll have to throw you some cash.
We can do
No,
it.
I can't. She'll freaking kill me.
You don't got
You know who I'm talking. I mean, she'll know. She pays attention to my shit.
Just hide it real well.
Yeah, that's not how that works when you have a glass case, bro.
Oh,
is
man,
very
another
attentive.
argument. Another argument to have glass, like tempered glass casing.
I'm super excited about this case. I almost ordered the parts. Let me grab it real quick so we can show the viewers at home.
Oh, that's
Uh,
right. That happened over the time.
Just FYI, I am logged in to the Micro Center site, and I am not seeing any 7900 XTXs in stock.
Excited for this.
Scorch is not.
I was just on it
Looking
a
at
few
Micro
hours
Center.
ago.
Hmm.
I was just on it a few hours ago. And it's
I mean,
pick up
that's
in
all it
store
takes.
only.
That's all it takes, man.
Available for in-store pickup.
Where? Because I'm not freaking seeing it.
I got
Anyway.
a Hellhound overclocked, a Pulse overclocked, a Magnetic Air overclocked, and a Black Edition Triple Fan overclocked.
And it's the XTXs, not the XTs.
Yeah, these are all XTXs.
What the frick am I not seeing then?
I have a search saved.
Hmm.
Yeah, I got notified this morning about them.
Fair. So what were you bringing over for show and tell?
Oh, I was bringing over that Apple case I have. Going Apple. Gonna do a G5.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to use these for, but I kept them both because I want to use them for something.
I mean, just stick them to the outside of the case. Put some
No,
LEDs behind them.
I want the case to be as original case as possible.
Minus that ITX or
Minus-
ATX upgrade.
minus the ATX upgrade and having to cut out the back plate and redo the black plate and like
I meant externally as Apple as possible.
i.e. everything but the back plate because you have to rip it out and cut different shapes holes for it.
Don't have to cut
For the-
anything. You just unbolt it and bolt in the new one.
Okay, hang on. That is some shady shit that just happened right there. So I put the full name in Radeon RX 7900 XTX and it didn't show me any cards. I just searched for 7900 XTX and it gives me like the 4 types you're looking at.
Yup. That's
That's some
why I do
bullshit.
it the way I do it.
Ah, damn it. They have a XFX Mercury up there.
Yeah, that's the one I was looking at.
Fuck.
That's the one I purchased earlier today and then returned because I was
Oh.
like, I can wait a day.
Actually, now that I'm looking at it again, these all say sold out.
I got in-store onlys on mine.
Okay. Good luck.
Oh, if you click on them, it says add to list.
Told you, man, those cards weren't going to sit around forever. And when I saw them this morning, I knew somebody was going to go up there and like snatch up 2 and then send their buddy in there and snatch up 2. And then we'll see these things on freaking eBay for $1,500.
Oh yeah, there's a Monster Hunter Wilds version for $850 that's sold out.
That's the one
Monster
I
Hunter
bought
Wilds
this morning.
version of what?
The Hellhound overclock triple fan 24 gig.
Oh, no, I brought the
Of the
Mercury
79.
one. The Mercury one came with Monster Hunter on my receipt as well.
Nice.
Oh, get Wilds with.
Yeah.
So wait, you already bought it?
I bought it and then returned it this morning.
No, you fool. You damn fool.
I got notifications up, so when they pop back up, I'll get another notification.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see some pop up back in the market here and there, especially because like freaking AMD is running a get free shit with a purchase, right? Like, how
Yeah.
could they do that when there's like no stock? That's one
They-
thing I don't freaking get, right? They're not making the cards anymore. They're not stocked in retail stores.
They're still making 7900 XTXs.
Are they?
Mhm.
So why is there like a scarcity of them right now?
Because
they
the
weren't
50
expecting
series
50 series to suck.
Yeah, it's purely because right now the newest gen cards that are currently released suck.
Fair.
And
Freaking
I feel
fair.
I feel bad for anyone that spent like $2,000
That's why
for a sucky card.
that's why I'm excited about the 9700 XTXs or the XT. 9070 XT. That's the word.
There you go. I know there's a lot of numbers in this, but
It's also just like why don't they follow the like naming patterns they're used to?
like
It's-
put these
AMD
out as
never
the
has.
8900s.
Yeah. No, it's like AMD is like the Xbox for graphics cards because it went like Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. While PlayStation was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah.
which is kind of what like Nvidia does.
No,
Yeah.
Nvidia's
Who
gone all kinds of routes on their stuff.
Yeah, but now they went like 10, then 20, then 30, then 40,
I
then
mean,
50.
they've been pretty smart since like the GT series, right? Like they started out with the GT 250s, and then it's gone to the, the 1080s, and then now the RTX series.
Mhm. The 40s and the 50s. And
Now ATI, there's a company that didn't know how to name their shit.
You're not wrong.
And forget any freaking computer monitor you have ever bought, right? Like, why are monitors coded the way that they are with their naming conventions? I don't freaking get it.
just to fuck.
Well, it's like that comic that I saw where the guy's like, time to name this monitor. And he just smashes his head on the keyboard and looks at it.
Yeah.
He's like, yep, that works. Click.
That
I don't
is
know.
the world we live in with monitors. I think each company probably has like a codex that they follow, but it doesn't make sense to us.
Fair. All right, so 9070s. Aesthetically, I actually really like the look of the freaking Sapphire Nitros. Have you seen the view of
Yep.
that? Now, granted, it just looks like a freaking box, right? But it's got like the grill on the side for, for me, I do a vertical mount, right? So like that's gonna actually be pretty neat to see that in the case. The only thing that I hate is that it's in silver. Like it's silver only. Can I get a black edition? Is there a black edition Nitro?
Spray paint.
Paint?
Just
No, fuck
fucking
that.
send it.
I'll just get you to 3D model and then 3D print the same case cover and then just reattach it in black.
It won't be in aluminum though.
Ooh, okay, I can freaking paint it then. Screw it. There goes my heat dispersion.
I have a powder coating gun. If we find an old oven, we can powder coat it.
Nice.
Actually, probably be small enough to fit in a toaster oven. We would just have to throw it away when we're done. All right.
But as far as other cards go, the XFX series, like basically any of them, are pretty freaking sleek looking. I don't know if you've looked at them on their website, but they're nice. Nice and
I
sleek
have
looking.
not. I've been too busy
Hmm.
getting screamed at all day. I didn't even have time to like check my personal email today, which is rare for me.
Yeah. Sorry, bro.
It's all good. It's just people. People being people.
People in all over the place.
Yep. People being mad
Well,
because they owe me monies.
Oh, is that why you're being yelled at? Because they owe you. How dare you? I owe you.
Yeah.
and he came to collect.
Yeah. That's kind of the additional project. I'm trying to find the nicest way of saying this without giving it up. The additional project I have been added to collect monies. And people get real mad when you show up and you're like, "Hey, I know you haven't been paid yet, but you owe me like $300,000."
And they send you to do it, which honestly is probably a good move on your boss's part. Just saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, the other two people that were supposed to be doing it no longer work for the company. I don't know if it's
Oh.
because they were getting yelled at all the time, but you can yell at me all day long. I was in the military. I'm used to it.
Yeah, but I don't mean you getting yelled at. I mean you personally showing up like a debt collector, like freaking repo men, right? Being like, knock, knock. Hey, you ready to give me your kidney?
That's literally what I'm doing tomorrow. All the people that didn't show up to the meeting to get told they owe me money or owe the company I work for money, we're physically going to the businesses and telling them.
Oh, nice. So that explains your, 7 meetings plus now travel time?
It's down to 4. I'm so excited. I will be off by like 1. It's glorious. I was supposed to be off all day tomorrow.
Damn.
Yeah.
Still.
And I don't have to drive and getting free lunch out of the deal. It's going to be awesome.
Sounds like a good day.
Yeah. I even told my boss man that I'm showing up in a fucking t-shirt because I was like, it's my day off. The vacation's already been put in.
Nice. All right, well, let's jump off work. Let's go to a topic that I brought up on our chat. Acclaim is
Yeah.
coming back. And I'm pretty excited for that because I have not seen Acclaim's name on a video game in a very long time. But apparently they are coming back to revive classic franchises. Now, I'm not 100% sure I know what that means, because the article basically just like lists off a lot of their, better titles when they were around. So I don't know if this means like we're getting rehashes of the same type of mechanic that they still own the IP on, which is what I'm expecting based on the article, or if it's going to be, like they're going to turn around and do like remasters or remakes, bringing older games up to current graphical levels and kind of thing, and hopefully not butchering them like most companies tend to do when they do remakes.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a weird spot with gaming programmers to where there's a lot of them right now looking for jobs. I mean, there's just everybody's getting cut left, right, and sideways. So there's a good chance they'll pick up some good talent. But I don't know. They don't own Mortal Kombat. So like, what are we gonna see?
Well, just to list off a couple of titles that they have on here, they are licensed for things like NBA Jam, which would be funny to see come back,
Yeah.
right? Like he's downtown kind of shit, right? Um, and they had Justice League Task Force. Questionable whether or not they can hold that IP. Turok, even though they are coming out with a new Turok, I'm not really sure how that's going to work with revising that series in the indie style that I'm seeing in this article. And then like the old BMX games. They've got a lot apparently of old IPs that they've just been sitting on.
Do you think Mary Kate and Ashley are gonna start suing them again?
Wait, what did they sue them for?
Unpaid royalties when they went bankrupt.
But for what? Like, what was their
I have no
their
idea.
basis for? Oh, okay.
I have no idea. I just thought it
Like,
was funny that the
did they
article.
use their likenesses or something?
I guess the article I pulled up. It's like the biggest part in the article is Mary Kate and Ashley suing them. One of the
Lovely.
reasons they went bankrupt.
Well, I
Because
mean,
of
I'm
unpaid
hoping for the
royalties?
best.
I am too. Acclaim was a good production studio.
And with a lot of unfortunately, with a lot of like fresh, you know, fresh people on the market, it's very possible they could pick up some high quality people. It's unfortunate the reasons why that happened, but if there's any time for a revival of an old studio slash maker, now would be it, right?
Is it the original like owner, or is it another company that's just bringing the name back in hopes that they can?
Good question. Let's see. Go away ads. Uh, bu- bu- bu-
Oh,
They're being revived as an indie game publisher, so we'll see how that works out. Um, Companies like Striker Entertainment, Ridge Partners, Global Force Entertainment, Vanier Fund, and Jet Management have all come together to revive Acclaim as a game publisher that will support indie developers and reignite classic franchises. So it looks like an amalgamation of a bunch of different gaming publishers at one point just decided that Acclaim was the new title for their composition company. So we'll see.
I wish there was a list of what they still owned so I could get excited about this.
Well, check it out when you can.
I've been looking since you sent me that article earlier today.
But I don't know. Like, we've been seeing a lot of like AAA games that really aren't worth the price that they come out with, right?
Oh,
and the whole like mid-tier games are not really there anymore. So now it's kind of an indie game / AAA market, and that leaves a little to be desired. So I'm hoping that that kind of fills that niche, right? That spot that's sort of in between. You know, I want the $25 and $35 games back where they're not great, right? There's there's probably some things wrong with them, but they have, you know, unique stories or a unique gameplay mechanic or something innovative and not just something washed, rinse, repeated.
I mean, yeah, I'm good with the game having problems if I spent $30 on it.
Right.
Just like straight up. They do own still the Judge Dredd rights for video games, which that'd be
Really?
a cool game if they do it after like either the comic or the most recent movie.
That would be interesting.
They also own Bill and Ted's.
I'm not 100% sure how they're going to come up with that, like with
I'd
a
play
good
it.
game for that.
Let's AI CGI George Carlin back. I miss that motherfucker.
There you go.
I found a list of games they've made.
Well, read them off.
I'm going through like the good ones because there's a bunch. Alien, they own the rights to that still. RoboCop.
Wasn't there like just a RoboCop game though?
There was, but it was done well, but it was an indie publisher. So I think they own, what's the actual name of the game? They own RoboCop 2 and 3. The rights to those
Okay.
movies as far as video game conversions.
Got it. And RoboCop something City is the most recent game.
Yeah. Demolition Man.
Rogue
would be
City.
cool.
See.
Most
Demolition
of
Man
these
would
are-
be fun.
most
Man,
of these
I
are
would like to see
Marvel.
Demolition Man.
Most of these are Marvel and DC universes, and they definitely don't own the rights to that still.
No, not Marvel. I mean, unless they own the IPs for a particular style or something, right? Like a mechanic.
Stanley
then they'd
wasn't
have
that
to-
smart back then.
Then they'd have to contract with the mouse again.
The Crow.
Ha!
Oh, are they just gonna make another really not great rendition? Because every other
probably.
Crow besides the original one has
No,
not
the
great.
original
Even
one
the
was
original.
also bad. It was just
You didn't let me finish my
so
sentence
bad
where it's
it's
like the
good.
original one wasn't bad.
It was definitely bad. They still own Fur Fighters. NBA Jam seems to be like the big one.
Who owns NFL Street?
Not Acclaim. They own NFL Quarterback Club. Dave Mira's Freestyle BMX Triple X, which is a game they could never put out again.
Why?
It's in the name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I
I
can't
had to
explain
remember the
any more
name
than
for a
that.
second.
They put
I
out
had
the
to- I-
Samurai Jack game. That was such a good game. All right. Baldur's Gate 2. That's not on the list of IPs that they still are doing.
No, I'm
though.
pretty sure. I am pretty sure Amazon bought that up.
Yeah. They technically still own the rights to Turok Resurrection. So maybe we'll get 2 Turok games.
Maybe.
But yeah, Acclaim coming back should be good if it's done right. But, you know, the current video game market, all we have to lay back on is Monster Hunter, which, by the way, sold 8 million copies in 3 days.
Yeah. It's doing pretty well despite the freaking PC optimization issues. Which
Yeah.
I mean, there are some workarounds to that, like, you know, doing a little configuration on your own and, you know, shit like that. Like mine's running smooth now. Like I don't know what magic I actually ended up doing to make it work, but when I first started playing it, it was rough. And then I started messing with video settings. I started messing with the configuration files a little bit, like changing resolutions, changing core usage, and now it's good as long as I don't turn on frame generation. If I turn on frame generation, I crash. Like, the only thing that I do still have, and this is, I don't know if it's just me, like maybe my particular configurations over here, but I get those like black triangles of doom that just like start from 1 pixel somewhere off in the distance of the map and just spread a giant triangle across my view. And then like I turn and then I turn back and then there's like 10 of them and I can't see shit. It's really obnoxious during a hunt.
I watched a video of a dude running on his PS5 version of the game from the graphics collapsing. Like he was running and he turned the camera backwards and literally the rendering was collapsing behind his character, just sprinting.
Oh no.
I haven't had too
Oh,
many issues,
no.
but I only have a few hours into the game. I've just been too busy.
Yeah, I'm already sitting at like 24 hours.
Yeah. Motherfucker already beat the storyline.
And that is actually just the tutorial.
Yeah, that's how Monster Hunter games roll.
It really was just the freaking tutorial because now that I'm in the high rank shit, I'm just like, oh, you didn't mean to fight like this at all. You meant to actually be more savage.
Oh, look at Dread Pirate. Jordan. What's up, my man?
27
Give
minutes
him a
late
second.
getting that docked from his pay.
Give him
Like
give him a
we
second.
pay people.
He's probably got to get his shit set up over there, you know.
Oh yeah.
While we're waiting for him to set up his stuff, I know we want to keep talking Monster Hunter, but before I forget, don't know how many of you guys are Tony Hawk Pro Skater fans, but they just announced they're remaking Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4, and it's releasing in July.
Yay.
Just want to throw
Okay.
that out there. I am very excited to a point to where I was a huge like just skateboard video game fan. Like I even bought the really, no offense, Tony Hawk, if he listens, shitty like sorta AR game, which is like they had the really heavy skateboard because it had like all the wiring and whatnot, so you could like actually do the tricks in person and do the trick in the video game. So I'm excited for like the classics to be remade.
Do you have like
And
a
if you-
DDR skateboard?
No, I forget the game. I think it's just called. It's not Skate, but it was a skateboard, like a plastic skateboard, and on the inside was like all the different sensors and everything you needed, so that way it would detect from like it was like a Wii game or something. It would detect from like the little like Wii bar to show motion, and it would pick up on like where your skateboard was. So what I couldn't do it because the skateboard's like 5 pounds, I just picked up the board and started flipping it with my hand. My character would do weird things. Because I don't know about you, but if I could only like ollie a 5-pound skateboard.
I wasn't that good at skateboarding. I could like ollie and kickflip and stuff, but as soon as you put me on a half pipe or a quarter pipe, I was eating shit.
Yeah. But if you buy the collector's edition, you get a what was currently a discontinued print of Birdhouse's Wings skateboard deck. So it's one of his. I'm not gonna say iconic, but it is one of the older versions of like the wings decal from his Birdhouse, which is pretty cool.
You can definitely tell there's a generational gap here because I don't even know who Birdhouse Skateboards is.
I remember
Tony
Birdhouse.
Hawk owned or owns
Oh,
Birdhouse
yeah.
Skateboard.
Yeah.
It's his skate company.
You've
only
probably
ever-
seen them.
I've only ever
You
used
de-
blind skateboards, so
Yeah, Blind's also really good. So yeah, that kind of threw me for a loop today and kind of brought me back. Like, man, I should pick up a skateboard. But then I realized where I live, and I'm like, man, I shouldn't pick up a skateboard because
there's
I
skate
would be.
parks everywhere here.
Yes, I would be too tempted, and then I just wouldn't go to work, and I'd be a skater bum for a good 4 months until I shatter my ankle again.
Okay,
okay.
one, don't do that.
Don't tell me how to live my life, but also it's skateboarding. You're either going to credit card yourself or shatter your ankle. There's no in between. And then you're
Okay.
Tony Hawk, which gives yourself concussions.
Servos-
Explain credit carding yourself.
So
Is it like what you do in the strip club when they don't take cash?
no.
No, that's credit
So-
carding the stripper. Different thing.
So credit carding yourself, and Kane, you can correct me if I'm wrong. You're doing a trick or just anything, and you fail. and usually the board will fall flat and you fall on the board, and that's it. Credit carding yourself is when the board lands upright and you're just like either your crack or your taint. So you just literally credit card yourself, and it hurts like a motherfucker. I literally saw a dude split his ball sack in half. So
Man, this AI is getting really good.
yeah.
Who gave him
Is it-
eyes?
Is the AI somehow learning how to skateboard?
No, he's just been watching YouTube videos.
AI has learned
Oh.
to skateboard.
Oh,
I liked leaving him in the dark so
I-
he could just sit in his own,
I don't know
Or
if
insane
you
asylum.
did you just start learning?
Me?
Yes.
Okay. So to not break the fourth wall, yes, definitely.
Then you do not know how to skateboard.
So to break the fourth wall, and people assume that maybe I'm not an AI and I'm just masquerading as one. I learned to skateboard when I was like 5.
That doesn't mean you know how to skateboard. I learned how to surf, but that doesn't mean I know how to surf.
Yeah, but I know how to skateboard. I stopped after I shattered my ankle. So I'm like, well,
As
not
what?
worth it.
As one does skateboarding.
Yeah, and I'm like, not worth it. And I played another sport, and then
Are we
broke
calling
my
s-
knee and
Are
shoulder.
we calling skateboarding a sport?
If you want to,
Was it
feel
in
like-
the Olympics?
it was
Yes, but so was breakdancing.
Hey.
Oh,
this
we're
was the
not
last
we're
year
not
for
rehashing
breakdancing.
this conversation. We're not.
What was
But
there?
yeah,
Like,
no,
laser beam or some shit?
we're not.
Ray gun.
Ray gun,
That
yeah.
person. Cool. But yeah, in case you missed it, Dread Pirate, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4
3 and
was
4.
released.
I just saw.
Yeah, I'm hella excited.
I was super excited when Tony Hawk's 1 and 2 remakes got brought out,
Mm-hmm.
and I bought them. I think like the week they got dropped because I was a huge Tony Hawk Pro Skater fan growing up. Played most of the games. I vividly remember going through the levels of the first 2 games when I played it. I think I played it for like 3 hours, and it's just the nostalgia wasn't enough for me. The mechanics are still garbage. Just back in the day, all the mechanics were garbage, so you kind of just dealt with it. I don't have to anymore. I'm a grown man. I have a grown man computer. I can play games with not
now-
crappy fucking controls.
Yeah, I was gonna say now you have a grown man.
Says the man that
No,
plays
but-
Monster Hunter.
I don't play Monster Hunter right because I'm waiting to pick up the new 9070 XT
Oh, I
because
was talking
hopefully it's
about-
better.
Dread Pirate, who's already got 14 hours in the game.
Oh,
That is really, you're giving me shit for that.
No, I'm not giving you shit. I wish
That
I
is-
could have 14 hours in the game. I have like 3.
Most of that was in 2 days, just because I happened to have that. That's what I decided to do those days,
just play Monster.
or stay up till
I'm-
4 in the morning, like happened one of the times.
Yeah. I'm jealous, and
That was
it's
the
only
first night, wasn't it?
It was the first night. So I haven't really put that much into it. It's just I've been able to spread it out like an hour or 2 here and there. I
Yeah,
still just beat Rathalos after he dropped me like 8 times.
So you're still playing through the story.
Yeah, no, I haven't made past the story. I don't rush games.
That's fair.
I don't enjoy rushing games. The whole goal for me isn't to end the game. 9 times out of 10, I get to the last mission anyways and never play the game again.
Well, that's not going to happen this time because the real game starts after you finish the tutorial.
I was gonna say you can't
That's
really
when the
rush a
grind
monster.
begins.
That's
You
how
can't rush a
all monster hunters are, though.
Yeah, you
So
can't
that I'm
rush Monster
expecting.
Hunter.
Although they are dropping an event today.
Oh, I did see
and-
the article for that pop
Yep,
up.
first event comes out tonight.
What's the event?
You kill a bird.
Fair enough.
You kill a
Touche.
monster. Huzzah.
You kill a
That
monster
sounds-
bird.
That sounds like
hunt-
the event, bro.
Some would say you hunt a monster.
Perhaps.
And some say it'd be in the
I don't
wild.
know anymore. You don't really hunt the monsters anymore. The whole aspect of hunting it, having to find its like footprints or like pieces of its fur or mucus,
Mhm.
isn't a thing in Monster Hunter Wilds. You don't have to technically hunt anything. You can just literally have your bird take you to things.
Yet.
Your chocobo.
Yet. So
Your
you are not.
chocobo.
No spoilers, but you're not quite there yet. There are investigations again that you do have to do, but that's after you get through the tutorial.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
but it's still not as prevalent as it was in Worlds. Like, so Worlds was like you were just exploring an area and suddenly you're like mucus, footprints, fur, feathers, like
And find
everywhere, right?
new monsters. Yeah.
Yeah, like freaking everywhere. Now it's like, well, no spoilers, but now it's like maybe you see a footprint or maybe you see like a marking of some kind.
I've
No
seen
spoilers,
I've
but
seen a
spoiler.
couple.
Yeah, it's interesting that they've well, in my opinion, they made it more natural, right? Like
Hmm.
you're not gonna find old footprints because of the way the environment changes so much in the game itself.
Hmm.
So like you're only really gonna find fresh footprints now, stuff like that. Like it makes a little more sense that you have to really actually investigate instead of just being led by the nose to the closest, marking.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like it's better, but we'll see. I mean, they might adjust it later to add more.
We'll see.
But now that you have the Sekaret or Sycret, whatever they're calling it,
Chocobo.
Chocobo,
Call it what it is.
you do move fast. So it basically there's not a lot of point to like finding things while you're running around on foot anymore. It's more or less just whatever you can get to as fast as you can, which is fine. I still like running on foot every once in a while though.
I do too. And that's one of those things I saw on one of like conversation piece on social media regarding because everybody's bitching the game's too easy. Everybody. And what it is, and they're talking about how the hunts don't take as long because your average hunt's what, 8 to 10 minutes now?
Yeah.
Is
For
it
most
really?
for most monsters. Until you get to the higher ranked monsters, then you're still just looking at 15, 20, maybe at 20 at longest if you have two people. Or you're soloing it. And I read into it a little bit to see what people's responses were. And I saw one dude who brought up a really good point to this one. A big reason why the Monster Hunter previous games, the hunts took so long is because they ran all the time. And while they do run in wilds, obviously, they don't run constantly. Like I remember the times me and Kane were playing World plenty of times, and a monster would run, and we would get to it, which took forever because you're running, and that was another point I was getting to. And then you'd go to hit it, and it would run away again.
Yep. That
But
was the fun
also,
part about that game, though. It forced you to look at the environment.
yeah, and it really was more difficult to fight a lot of the monsters in Monster Hunter Wilds, especially later on in the game, or Monster Hunter World, especially later on in the game, because you really had to go to your hunter notes, see which parts were most breakable, where they took the most damage, because you're not running in against a fully armored monster with dual blades, because you're not doing shit to it. You have to bring something that does smashing damage to get through the armor plate before you can even hope that the dual blades would do any damage.
And I have a feeling that's going to come back full force, right? So like the fact that you can carry around 2 weapons now,
I love that. I don't give
like
a fuck what nobody says.
it
I think
really
it's
just
awesome.
it is awesome, and it honestly gives you the range of doing different types of damage. So like hammer and dual blades, you know what I mean? Just carry both
Mhm.
around with you. Hammer when there's heavy armor, then dual blades when you break the armor, right? And then switch back and forth. Like and then you got to worry about like elemental damage, and like sometimes you want to carry the same weapon, and because like let's say a greatsword for instance can do the heavy armor damage and the damage. Now you're carrying different element types or something, right? Like it's cool that they give you a lot more variation in how you can play on a standard hunt.
Mhm.
And also, let's not forget that like when World came out, it was kind of the same story, right? Like the veterans were all like, "This is too easy,"
Yeah.
and then they like patched in what was it, G rank monsters or something like that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they started bringing out all the tempered monsters and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I mean, like the game just released. It's not even been a week,
Yeah, and not only that,
and
you got It's Too Easy, and Worlds brought out Bahamut, which I really hope they bring Bahamut back.
I'm sure they will. But all I can say is Capcom is smart because they're not making the game built for veterans. They're making it built for everybody to play. And everybody, 8 million people in 3 days,
I
are
was going to
enjoying the
mention
shit
that.
out of it.
I was going to mention that
Kane
too.
brought it up earlier. But 8 million people in 3 days are enjoying the hell out of this game, and the veterans will be happy once they patch in the higher difficulties. You know, like that's just how it's
Yeah.
going to be.
I
But
agree.
I'm glad Capcom decided to make it beginner friendly because my significant other, who is not much of a gamer, is playing it and trying to get used to it. So like this
Mhm.
is a good game for her to do that.
And from what I understood, wasn't that kind of, I never played it, but isn't that kind of what Worlds was, or Rise was too?
Rise is a Switch game. We don't talk about Rise.
Yeah, but
Rise
I
doesn't exist. It
I
can't
was
with
under
you.
the impression that Rise was kind of one of those made for people who weren't really into Monster Hunter,
Yeah.
because it was way cartoony with the graphics, the styling, and all that stuff. And it just seemed, from what I read, it seemed a lot slower.
Wilds is a good mix of Rise and World. And I put some hours in both. I much preferred World because Rise was, again, a Switch game. It's hard to make a good game nowadays when you're running on fucking 20-year-old hardware. But
When cell phones have better hardware than your console.
yeah, the Switch's release, average cell phones had better hardware than your console. It's going to be the same thing with the Switch 2.
Absolutely.
Which
I can kind of care less about the Switch too. No offense, Nintendo.
that might change. Somebody released a concept drawing from Nintendo about a foldable Switch 2.
I don't trust that whatsoever. Like
I don't know, man. Folding
Nintendo
screens-
making
No. Come on. They're going to come out with a Switch 2, and what they're going to do is they're going to make it like mobile phones, right? So you get the Switch 2, then you get the Switch 2 Plus, the Switch 2 Flip, right? And then
you
you
forgot the fold.
and then you're going to have the Switch 2 Fold. Yeah, like you're saying. And then they're going to have the Switch 3 and the Switch 3 Plus, right?
no,
Like
it's
they're
fine.
just
Wait, you forgot the
If
budget
they
friendly
come out
version.
and they call it the Switch 3 Fold and don't call it the Switch Boy, I'm gonna be mad as hell.
I would respect that.
Because at that point, we're regressing back to the size of Game Boys.
Yeah, there you go, Poe.
Yeah.
What you were saying, the Switch 2E.
Switch
I was gonna say no. You need the budget friendly,
The
which is
SP, there you go.
Switch 2 SE.
There you
That's
go.
a Switch
Yes.
SP, my man.
Come on.
Oh, SP.
I know you were very young when that came out.
Yeah.
Talking
I
about,
was just gonna.
talking about things that you were very young for when it came out. Fast and the Furious 10 Part 2 started filming.
Oh my
Jesus.
god.
You mean Too Fast, Too Furious?
No, that was the second movie.
That was the second movie.
Yeah.
It was a 2 in it.
And they're not called the Fast and the Furious anymore. They're just called Fast and Furious, like Fast and the letter Furious now, right?
Because
Like
at this
Oh,
point, you
this
gotta
one's
take.
officially
They're not.
just called Fast.
Fast 10.
Fast 10 Part 2.
That's what they. I think that's what they did with 5. Fast 5.
They're
And that
all
was
out of-
it.
They're all out of fury. They're just trying to get to plaid now.
So are they?
There's
So
The only thing that
in,
matters is family.
in 10 2, are they gonna be? Are you gonna be able to switch their outfits out to get different abilities?
Right? Fuck it. Let's just CGI
Did
What's
you
his
just make
name
a Final
back?
Fantasy joke?
Paul Walker.
I
Paul
did.
Walker.
He did. He did. Pirate definitely just made a Final Fantasy joke that we all got.
I'm just making sure everybody else got it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I definitely understood what you said.
What are you saying about bringing Paul Walker back, though?
Let's
Just
bring him back with
CGI.
CGI.
Top it.
Put him in a
No,
Supra.
just-
Nobody will know the difference.
Just
Whoever-
bring him. Just what you got to do. You do Paul Walker like you did. Like Knight Rider. He doesn't come back as a person. He comes back as a super version of Kit.
Would you
What the fuck,
rather a
bro?
Supra or a Skyline?
For him, it's Supra. That's what he
Okay.
drove. That was his car till he wrapped a more expensive car around a pole.
Oh, the fucking what is it? The 918 Spiders. Those things just kill people left and right. Terrifying
Is that
car.
what he wrecked?
Yeah, Porsche 918 Spider.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. It was, yeah, Porsche Carrera GT, which is, I believe, the hardtop version of a 918 Spider. I could be wrong. I don't know fuck all about Porsches. I want a 926, and that's about all I know.
I know a bit about their motors, but that's because it's the same motors as Subaru. Subaru.
Kinda. Air
Same
cooled
style.
Porsches were the best Porsches. But talking about concurrent players, Steam broke a world record.
I saw that.
40
World record.
million concurrent players for the first time. Bigger than 80% of the countries in the United Nations.
Why do they got to throw it out like that? Like that's kind of like that's like America saying there's a pothole the size of like 4 refrigerators. It's like you don't have to quantify stuff like that.
Hey,
Makes people
this
feel
this
bad.
is America. We will use whatever the fuck we want to measure things.
It
Because
is
fuck the rest of the world.
Freedom units.
it is as deep as 7 hollowed out KFC.
How many
buckets.
midgets can you fit in a trunk?
Something I've never experimented with. But
Really?
I've never had
Fair.
that many midgets in one place that were willing to
I'll-
get into a trunk. I'm not going to force them to scrap me.
That many willing midgets to get into a trunk.
Fair.
Well, since
we-
we're talking about peak counts and midgets and trunks, just
Oh.
thought I'd mention real quick that
Midget.
concurrent players right now is about 500,000 on Wilds. The last 24-hour peak was like 1.1 million.
Nice.
And it looks like, and the peaks and valleys, that it sits between 1.3 and 700,000 concurrent
And that's
players.
just for Steam. We're not including like all the
PlayStation. Yeah, like that's just Steam's
Yeah.
player count.
All the poor gamers.
I'm poor nothing. The game and the console costs almost as much as some low-end PCs now. You know.
you can build a dope
Low-end.
PC for $600 or $700 nowadays.
I mean,
It's not
sure,
going to have
unless
RGB.
you want, unless you want a decent graphics card.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You
You can get a decent graphics card for about $550, $600 in about a month.
Hey, look,
No,
man.
2 days.
I'm waiting.
Your
I'm waiting
your
for the
ray,
point.
your ray tracing is gonna not be great, but
I'm honestly waiting for the point when we just buy graphics cards and plug those into our monitors, and like that's all you need on your desk. Right? Like we're getting close, guys. We're getting close, is what I'm saying. Like eventually we're just gonna be console owners, and the consoles are gonna be, NVIDIA
no.
10
I think you're getting
10,090s.
I think
right?
you're getting this backwards, Scorch. I think they are just going to eventually forced to become PC owners.
Who, console players?
Absolutely.
I don't know, man. The gaps are getting closer both ways. It's
Yeah,
becoming
but-
more affordable to own a console
Not
and
by much.
still get the same quality of game. Right?
Not by much. And Xbox is a cut hair away from it actually being a PC.
Market.
That's what I'm saying. It's literally what I'm saying. Like Xboxes and PlayStations are getting closer to PCs, and full gaming PCs are getting so expensive that you're just going to buy cheaper products that are going to get you closer to console. Like eventually there's going to be just a borderline where it doesn't matter which one you get because they're both going to be able to handle the same and be more affordable than buying high end.
It's true. But my PC is prettier than a console.
That is absolutely true though.
By a lot. I still game and stare at my PC at the same time regularly. I don't think I've ever made a second glance at any console I've ever seen.
How do
You
you
put
do
it
that, by the
there.
way? Are you like looking at one screen with one eye and looking at your computer with the other? Is that like
I've got good peripheral vision,
Well, he
and
could
it's bright
game
enough.
on his PC, so there's always
I
that.
can run Doom on my little screen.
Yeah, I forgot that you got that fancy freaking water cooled with a LED screen or whatever.
And it is indeed bigger than a Game Boy screen, so I'm already upgrading from my childhood.
You know what? Now I actually kind of want you to get BlueStacks so you can run some mobile games on that little screen.
BlueStacks?
Yeah, so BlueStacks is it's basically like a port so you can play like Google Play Store or Apple Store games on PC.
Oh, okay. I
It's
might
like
do that.
you can use a mouse to like do the touches and stuff like that. But
Just put it
yeah,
as like a third screen.
that would be funny.
It doesn't go to the left off my screen yet. Ah. Eventually,
One day.
I'll figure out how that one works. I already want to upgrade. I already want to change things though.
That's the itch, man. That's how it works.
Yeah, that is how that shit works.
Dude, the black motherboard just doesn't look right.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be that.
That's-
I had in the black RAM, right? Like you can't have the black RAM. You got to get some white sticks, man.
Exactly.
You got to put some of those
And
G-Skill freaking what like Trident Z white with the RGB on the ends of them.
I know which ones you're saying. Those are the original ones I
Yeah,
wanted.
yeah.
If had I not bought the kit, that's what I would have gotten. And the AIO that's coming out next month with height.
Oh, rut-row. Haven't even had your computer for a whole year and already gonna upgrade the AIO. Get out of
It's
here.
the same AIO but bigger and all white.
Is your shit cool in your computer?
Very well.
Well, then fucking quit.
But it's so
That
nice.
should be the last thing you upgrade. You have the nicest
Yeah,
cooler.
seriously.
And it's mostly white. You'll figure it out.
No, I'm not going to get it anytime soon. The Mobo, maybe. But that's not going to be that expensive.
No.
I mean, you say that, but you're still talking $300, bro. For the
For real?
equivalent of what you have now.
Really?
The equivalent in white, yes.
Probably because it's just white.
No, like equivalent power of what you got in that bundle.
Really? The 650E?
Oh yeah.
Oh, shit. I didn't realize it was that good of a motherboard. I thought it was just a throwaway, considering they only made it for the kits. I don't think you can find my motherboard by itself.
Oh, you can. Micro Center just grabs whatever they have extra stock of and throws it in the kit.
Yep.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
That's why it changes all the time between like Asus and whatever. Like
Mhm.
they'll do the B series or you can upgrade to the X or whatever. Well, X is AMD, but whatever. You know what I meant.
Ooh, speaking of your shirt, Kane, they
Yeah.
are going on tour soon.
Yeah, I'm saving my money for Baby Metal.
Highly recommend. They are so good live.
Yeah, I saw them open for Avenged Sevenfold I think Scorch was there.
Was I?
Yeah. I think.
It's possible.
I saw them open for Korn once, and they were awesome.
But yeah, they opened for Avenged Sevenfold a bunch of years ago, and they were not very well known. And I was like, this is pretty dope. And then they fucking exploded.
Yeah, they did.
They're on a European tour right now.
So do you guys want to hear something funny?
Hmm.
So this is coming back to Monster Hunter Wilds a little bit, but because Monster Hunter Wilds had depicted cheese naan as well as they did,
I was telling Beans about that earlier today.
all kinds of stores who sell cheese naan have been running out of cheese because they cannot make enough for the amount of orders they've been getting.
Yeah, I was reading an article where dude was like, every shift I have to go get more stuff for naan and cheese.
I'm
Because
good with it.
because
Naan's delicious. I'm happy
Not
more
as
people
delicious.
are finding it.
Yeah,
But like
it's just-
in fairness, that the video of or the scene of them making it looks delicious. It looks like something out of Studio Ghibli.
I mean, they did a really good job actually showing off a texture that is both melty and like squishy, like pillowy, right? Like
Glob,
how
glob,
you would expect,
globby, globby, globby.
like how you would expect cheese, a ball of melted cheese to look. You know, like I think they did a pretty good freaking job, and apparently so does everybody else who has been ordering out for cheese naan.
I
That
have to
was
fight
one of the
somebody for
funny.
some cheese naan later.
Yeah.
That was one of the funnier articles I read today.
It just it gives me a kick, like a giggle, right? To think that supporting your local businesses comes from the influence of things that people are seeing, right? And it's not commercials, bro. It's not commercials.
It's a video
Your
game.
commercials ain't doing shit.
You're talking about taste. Fucking, did you guys see the new VR accessory where you can taste things in game now?
No, but I did see the one where it like sprays scents into your room depending on like what you're looking at.
So if you get the scent one, the taste one, and a VR headset, what's VR porn gonna be like?
Oh, why did you have to go there? I was about
Okay,
to take a drink
Dread-
of water.
Dread Pirates, you need a haptic glove, my man.
So we're bringing back the Game Boy Power Glove.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's freaking do it. Let's go.
How hard do you think it is to build a modern power glove?
I mean, the VR headsets already look like fucking what did they call them?
Virtual Boy.
Virtual Boy. They
Yeah.
look just like them. They're just slightly more comfortable.
Oh, especially the new like the new Valve one that just came out, I think. It looks like an old Virtual Boy. Like it's big and blocky on the front, but it looks lightweight. And then like the strap and everything with the headphones. Yeah.
At least the straps are better, not just like metal bars you put on the back of your head.
Yeah, no shit, right? That was uncomfortable.
That's why they never sold. They were so uncomfortable to wear.
Well, that
They
and
were a cool concept.
after 8 minutes, you had the worst migraine on the planet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's why they came with a kickstand, right? So you could just leave it sit and then use the controller to actually move in the 3D environment.
Yep.
So how close are we to like full dive like nerve gear?
At least 20 years.
Yeah, they got to figure out how to put a chip in your brain first.
No,
And
they
they
shouldn't
need
do that.
they also need to figure out how to let people allow you to, you know, essentially take control of your whole nervous system and mind.
So
Not-
that's
Not take control, but access, I guess
Well,
you would say.
okay. So if we want to
Dude.
talk about the science of Sword Art Online and the freaking nerve gear, what it actually was electromagnetic waves that interrupted your spinal sensations, like your electronic signals to your brain, and fed it new ones. That was like the science behind how they did it in the show.
Yeah,
You
I was
looked into this
thinking.
before?
I was
Huh?
thinking
Have you
less.
looked into this before?
They explained it in the show.
The show.
I was thinking
God, it's
less
been
like
a long time since
oh
I've watched it.
yeah. I was thinking less of the whole like we're just gonna trap people in a video game, and more like Shangri-La Frontier, which is like you put on the headset and you can lay down and you play your video game, and then when you're done playing your video game, you could just like exit the game and like take the headset off and not be trapped in a world until you
The thing-
die.
I mean, that's how SAO started. You put on a
Yeah.
helmet.
That's how
But-
SAO is supposed to be.
Yeah, that's how it's
Yeah,
supposed to be, but then someone
Except
corrupt.
some psychotic crazy guy decided no. But they also haven't explained in
That's me.
Shangri-La Frontier. They haven't explained in Shangri-La Frontier how those headsets work yet, or at
No.
all.
No, because they didn't
No, they
need to,
haven't.
right? Like Sword
Right.
Art sort of set the precedent for the generalized understanding of like full dive gaming headsets. But SAO really actually kind of went into the science of it. So like they explained the nerve gear and how the nerve gear worked on like the first couple episodes. But then later on, in the Mother's Rosario arc, they actually explained how it could be used for like medical purposes. Right? So like instead of anesthesia, they just put you in full dive. That kind of thing. And that's like really how it gets into like the deeper science of how it works and stuff. So if you
How do they do
haven't
brain surgery, doesn't it go over the top of your head?
That's
Like, isn't
different.
there a support?
Yeah, no, that brain surgery is a little bit different, but yeah, like body surgery they can do because they disconnect you,
Yeah.
but brain surgery, I don't remember if they explained how that one worked.
You also typically, what's weird is I could be wrong, is you typically actually don't feel when they're doing brain surgery. That's why they have you awake, so that way they know you're not meant. So they might
That
give
way
you
they
a
know they don't fuck
You
Give
don't
you
have
a
nerve
lobotomy
endings in
or-
your brain. You can't feel your brain. The reason they're making you move is to see if they hit
See
something
if they-
that shuts
yeah.
things off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like if they accidentally shut things off. So if you play violin, you'll be playing violin. It's happening. But you
Yeah,
won't
but that's
feel
that's
the
current
surgery.
brain surgery. We're not talking current brain surgery, but they never really describe brain surgery in the show.
It's because of this whole conversation. Like, well, what would happen? But kind of all for sort of kind of smelling your environment and tasting your environment. Like if
Oh yeah, coming
like,
back to that.
if you play like fast food simulator, you could try if your burger is like actually burnt or not, and then like go away. Yes, there's a game called Fast Food Simulator.
Just
Dread
get a fucking job.
Well,
These
there's
kids
actually
need to do it.
one of the
Most
first
games
games
now
that
are
came out
jobs.
was Job Simulator.
Yeah, most
And it was
games.
cartoony and funny, right? Like you were running a small like gas station restaurant kind of thing where you had like a single grill and stuff like that.
But now
That
you
would
have
be
like
interesting though.
yeah, but you have like Fast Food Simulator, you have Farming Simulator, you have Car Mechanic Simulator, you have PC Builder Simulator. They just have
I
a-
want to simulate the beginning of KFC.
There's
you just wanna
probably
be
a
a white
KFC
dude in a
simulator.
white suit
It-
yelling at people.
Especially when he shoots his competition.
Yeah, that dude was a savage.
He was fucking savage.
You got to secure your territory. Make sure you're the only fried chicken man in the town.
Not only that, but it's not even just that. The man literally invented a new way to make fried chicken that had never been done before, and that's a big reason why it got so popular.
Mixed the
Because he
pressure
had-
cooker and a fryer.
He jury rigged a pressure cooker, which sounds terrifying in a gas station.
Yeah. Did he jerry rig it into
To be
being
able
a
to-
deep fryer?
Pressure fry oil and chicken. Yeah, he pressure fried a deep fryer.
Yep.
So the dude made pretty much what could be assumed as a homemade hot oil bomb. and
Explosive
just-
device.
Yeah, and just got
Yeah.
super lucky that chicken turned out really good.
Yeah, that was it.
And then they invented the double down. And
Yo, that
that's
shit
when
is
it went down.
fire.
It's such a
It
great
is.
sandwich, but that's the last good thing they've invented. It's like it's like KFC, then the Famous Bowl, and then Double Down.
That is what's gonna end humanity. Is shit like the double down.
I think
While
that's
it's delicious,
the first time I felt like I was having a heart attack was the double down.
I can agree with that one.
I don't know that I ever ate it.
I never.
It
Dude,
was
you
finished
should
one.
try it. It's horrible, but you
Don't
should
do
try
it.
it. You should try it. It's horrible, but you should
It
try
tastes delicious,
it.
Nice.
If you
but it's fried chicken on top of fried chicken with cheese and bacon in the middle.
yeah. So instead of buns, it's 2 pieces of fried chicken breast.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I do remember seeing that. I was never brave
Mhm.
enough to try it.
It was the first
I ate it
fast
once.
food. Yeah. It was
It
the first
knocked
fast
4
food
years
meal-
off my life.
Yeah. It was the first fast food meal that made me full.
Okay,
Okay. That's cool.
All right.
Yeah.
someone's never been to Arby's.
Right.
Oh, don't get me started on Arby's.
Big Montana with a side of curly fries and 4 cheese sticks.
Dude,
My man.
I've only had Arby's once. And it scarred me to where I don't eat Arby's anymore.
But they have the meats.
They do.
Yeah,
in
and their
fact have the
meats
meats.
don't look good.
But they have the meats.
And it doesn't look good.
You might have
And-
just gone to a bad Arby's.
That's
Dude,
true, man. Their roast
maybe.
beef is actually fire.
I don't know, man. I had the roast beef sandwich with horseradish and cheddar cheese. I'm like,
Horseradish
sure.
on it. That was yeah, you put
I don't
horseradish
know.
on it.
You just
Don't-
get a
don't
roast
try-
beef. Just get a roast beef
I-
sandwich. No
I
additives.
literally ordered a roast beef sandwich and it came with horseradish and cheese. I'm like, okay, their curly fries are really good because I buy those at the local supermarket because I'm not gonna say where I live. And they're pretty fucking dope. And like their popcorn chicken things are pretty dope, but like the sandwiches kind of made me sick. So I was like, I'm not gonna mess with Arby's no more.
I
Just
mean,
weak.
like I was saying, like there are good Arby's and bad Arby's, just like there's our good Crystals and better White Castles.
There's not
that's a-
good crystals.
I've never
There's
been
not
to
good
good
Crystals. I've never
There's
been
not
to
good.
Okay, somewhere out there's a good Crystals. There's
No, there's
probably
not.
not one that we've ever been to.
No,
You
there
might have
are
thought it was good in New Orleans because you were fucking drunk.
Well, to
Because
be
there
you-
are no
no,
good crystals.
anywhere where
That's-
a bunch of hoes beat up their pimp is not good.
Love New Orleans.
Love New Orleans. All right.
I have no comment for that. That threw me for a loop, but then I remembered it's a Crystals, not a Waffle House.
It's crystals that serves alcohol on
Yeah.
the Bourbon Street Strip.
Is that only a New Orleans thing, or is that just like an every Crystals thing? 'Cause I've
Nah,
never
it's
been in a Crystals. I've only been through their drive-through.
kind of
Or
only a New
Daytona.
Orleans thing. Like the only place you can get booze in a Taco Bell is Las Vegas.
In San Diego.
Can you?
Yep. The one
I-
just south of Coronado, right off the bridge. They also have
I
a
stand
bonfire
correct.
pit out front, which is hilarious because of the fires. But
Oh, wait! For once, they're not the ones getting burned down.
yeah, they just splashed some Baja Blast on it.
Dude, you could buy Baja Blast at like Costco now.
You could buy Baja Blast at Costco for years now.
Yeah, the contract
Wait,
ended.
When did Taco Bell no longer have their grasp on the Baja Blast?
2015, 2016.
Yeah, you're
Gee,
talking like
it's-
8 years ago.
It's been a long time. Now it's like Tropic Thunder is what they have.
It's not something
Or
you
Tropic
would have
Lightning.
ever thought to look for.
Yeah.
So you probably never noticed that Baja Blast was sitting on the shelves, but
Well, it's also hard because like Mountain Dew has so many flavors. So it just
Sweet
kinda
Lightning,
blends
sorry.
in.
Sorry, Sweet Lightning is a KFC.
yeah, but none of them are that like radioactive blue green. Okay,
Yeah.
like
No, that's
Yeah.
you can only get that at Taco Bell.
Nah, dude. What was it? Code Red and Voltage were like the big thing when I was younger.
I mean, those were the two like other flavors that they actually had when I was.
Yeah, those were the
18.
two regular flavors that they had kept.
Can you call Mountain Dew flavors regular?
Yes,
Yes, you can now.
you can now.
So like
Once they-
the original Mountain Dew, like the yellow, right? Like that one is their original flavor. And then Code Red and Voltage came out.
Thank you, alcoholics.
Yep. Code Red and Voltage came out, and those were specialties for a while, and then they became permanent. And now we have just like a plethora of flavors that basically just move around in rotation, so they're never really out of stock.
Did they ever
Bring
make
back-
a grape flavor? Like a grape purple flavor?
No.
They do have a grape flavor one, but it's not called grape. It's called
Well, yeah, they can't
purple.
call it a normal name. They have to call it like elephant snot or something.
No, it's like voodoo or something like that. Anyhow.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. They just need to bring back Game Fuel.
I wish.
Grape
I d-
flavor
I know they
Mountain
did a-
Dew is sold in cans and it is called
Oh,
grape
purple.
in Japan
Oh.
apparently.
Oh, Purple Thunder.
Japan has
Yeah,
all
purple-
flavors.
Purple Thunder is the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, and then there's
That
then
sounds
there's
like a porno.
actually yeah, and then there's actually Voodoo, which is like a Halloween specific
hmm
print.
Are you guys ready for your weekly apocalypse update?
Always.
Yes, sir.
So the giant iceberg is grounded itself on the continental shelf 50 miles off the coast of Georgia.
That's not good. So either it's gonna rip into the continental shelf or smash Georgia.
Yeah.
And I don't. Do you think the water's cooler now? Or do you think it's going to take some time to cool the water down so
I
that way?
think the water's normally pretty cool in that region, I believe.
And it moves fast, so probably won't fuck up the temperature. Jesus Christ, there's a fuck ton of Mountain Dew flavors. Sorry.
Oh, now I gotta look up Mountain Dew flavors because I want to
Don't
see how
do
big
it.
the list is.
Don't
There are
do it.
many.
There are many.
You tell me not to do it, and I want to do it. Do I go to
Do it.
Wikipedia or do I go to fandom.com?
I went to fandom.
Cool, I'll go to.
All right, so some other news. One more
There's
thing in gaming.
53?
Yes,
Oh, because it counts the kickstarts and the hards.
it does.
Ah, okay.
One thing in gaming is that Yoshi P, who has been on the board for Square Enix for a while, has silently stepped down because he just wants to make video games. Is his reasoning.
That's a good reason.
I mean, basically, years of promotions finally landed him on the board, and he doesn't want anything to do with it. Like, he has no interest in being on the board of directors. He just wants to make games. Which,
Feel that.
more power freaking to him, because that's what the man does best.
I feel that. I've said
Yeah.
no to a promotion or two.
Game Fuel is out again,
Oh, really?
and it has Master Chief and Cortana on the box still.
Nice.
Hilarious.
The 12-pack for $549.7.
That's not bad
Well,
for a 12-pack nowadays.
We know what
No.
Pirate's doing.
No, I don't need that much
Check-
sugar in my life.
Check the expiration on the details.
Yeah.
It's at Walmart. They might have just found it.
Expired 2012. That's why it's $5. They're just trying to get rid of it.
Well, they put less sugar in it apparently. Only 27 grams of sugar.
Dude,
As opposed,
I have a pre-workout that I picked up. Shout out to Gorilla Mind. This motherfucker has 1200% of your daily caffeine intake.
Bruh.
It's so much caffeine that you don't even get the tingles. You just are like, I have energy. I'm gonna go pick things up now.
So you go
you
right
good, man?
past.
I'm good, bro.
Yeah. It's so much caffeine that I miss the tingles.
You just go past your body warning you this is too much, and you go
Yeah.
right into I pick things up and I put them down.
Dude, colors look brighter. It's
So-
weird.
So that's what I imagine. Who posted the short video or meme in the group chat about the old lead singer dude who just looks blasted.
Oh, that was probably me.
Yeah. There's
What
all
I
kinds of
imagine that
memes
much
about that.
caffeine looks like. Just
All right, boys. You guys want to close it out? We are at an hour 12. Well, some of us. Dread Pirate's got to do another 32 minutes on his own.
I did enough work today helping Beans.
That's
Okay.
fair.
Well,
Got fucked up by goddamn vines with teeth on them.
Nice.
Although it was very
Yeah.
nostalgic being in that backyard again.
Oh, it hurts.
You sure you guys weren't playing Monster Hunter?
No, we weren't.
It don't
Get
run on
fucked
my
up by vines with teeth?
it don't run on my Steam Deck. That's what I sent him there with.
Shame.
Yeah. Right, close us
Good
out.
and-
Let's close
and
it
on
out.
that bombshell, thank you guys so much for listening or watching us on YouTube. Put us on in the background. You can mute us, leave a comment, engage that algorithm, get us kind of some more screen time would be always great. If you want to contact us at all for any ads, sponsorships, just to say, hey, really love your stuff, you could always email us at TheDepthsofJigoku@gmail.com. As well as you could always follow us on all them socials like Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Twitch. We're sort of making a Patreon. We're still deciding on that. We're still constructing all that, but that will all be at the Depths of Jigoku. If you need to talk to someone, please talk to somebody. Never do a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
And look out for one of these nights when we actually do decide to do a co-op game on our Twitch stream.
We just have to find one that we all have and that we all want to play.
I'm still thinking Chain Together.
Chain together a
That's a
Monster
four-
Hunter.
If not, Lockdown
Monster
Protocol.
Hunter. I was gonna say, I think Chain Together's 4-person. I believe Monster Hunter's 5 because I've seen 5 before.
It's 4.
It's 4.
So 4. So yeah.
But then there's also Lockdown Protocol, which is kind of like an Among Us, but little more advanced, I guess.
Yeah,
That
but you could
also be a
always
good time.
yeah, but you could catch us playing that. We'll probably announce it on our Instagram, Twitch, maybe throw up a chat or community post on YouTube and Spotify. But you guys all have a lovely day, night, afternoon, whatever time of day it is.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Houston, I'm getting a little fluctuation in the AC voltage now. Roger. Took the meter maybe, huh? Stand by. Looking good. You're still looking good. It's coming up 3 minutes.